Welcome to Rock Your Book Launch. My name is Erin Van Dyke. I am joined by my friend Stacy Kennedy. We are in the middle of a Facebook series. So today in this episode, we are going to be talking about Facebook ad copy. So in a previous episode, we talked a little bit about ad creative. So that's that visual piece that goes along with an ad. So today, Stacy is going to be talking about some of the best practices of how you can utilize ad copy to be promoting your books and growing your author brand. So Stacy, I'll kind of hand it over to you. Let's talk a little bit about some ad copy best practices.
Sure. I love talking about Facebook ads. I think partly just because they're hard to nail down. I'm always testing and, testing this against this. And I can't tell you how many times I've worked really hard and I think this is going to do it. And then I just throw in this other thing as like my B test, so I can A/B test, and this one takes off. And this one
Yeah.
that I worked so hard on. So I think it's really important at first to realize there's more than one way to do this. There are lots of different options for you, and test.
Yeah.
See what works for your audience, and work hard on all of it, but don't be surprised if the one thing you threw in at the last minute just to see ends up being the thing that takes off.
Mm-hmm.
For Facebook ad copy, you've got a couple of different parts of the ad when you're building your ad. And so one is the headline, and that's short and sweet. And we'll get back to that in a minute, but let's just talk about the actual copy of the ad. I
Okay.
mean, you want to keep that copy, that primary text box,
Yeah.
concise and clear. You want to hit that felt need. What's in it for me, the person who's seeing the ad?
Yep.
And, people call it like the value proposition. Make that really clear. You feel this, and this is what I have to help.
Yeah.
So, don't you have very little real estate in that ad copy before somebody can click the word more and then see all the things you have to say.
Yeah.
So when I say concise, you can make your ad copy really long, but really click that advanced preview button when you're creating your ad and see what your ad looks like in all the different 20 something placements,
Mm-hmm.
because that very beginning is really what's going to catch them, or your headline. And so your headline is going to look different in different placements. And so make sure that it's short enough that it's not going to get cut off at a weird spot. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
your headline is just going to be long. And so it's just going to cut off in a certain place, and that's okay. But just make sure that it's compelling. Maybe you're asking a provocative question. Maybe you have something free to tell them, an intriguing statement, something that
Yeah.
pops right out. That's your headline.
Yeah. Amazing. So with I guess as we're thinking about call to actions, like whether this is in somewhere in the headline or the copy, or maybe even in that like button space, what would be some of the what are some of like the call to actions that you've tested out in the past that you see convert on a, I guess, maybe more consistent basis?
Statistically, I mean, I've taken a lot of Facebook ad courses and been told almost consistently across the board that learn more is the button that will convert the most for you. So a lot of times that can even be the default, but
Mm-hmm.
learn more. You have something for them. If your ad is for something, especially like something for free, learn more about it. Click here to learn more. If you're trying to sell, which that does work sometimes on social media, but I would say for authors, trying to sell your book on social media just straight out is a little bit tougher, but you can try the shop now button. For the most part, I recommend learn more. Unless maybe you have a video course that you're offering or a free video
Mm-hmm.
for someone to watch, you could choose the watch more button as well. There's a lot of different choices. And what's going to work for you, you might have to just test. You
Yeah.
might have to, duplicate your ad and one use learn more and one use something else and see which one is converting, which
Yeah.
one's getting people there, which one's costing you less money.
How many, I mean, as we're thinking about testing, how many like versions do you typically test out when you're starting an ad campaign?
I'm always testing two
Two.
at a minimum, always. And sometimes I have more that I can test. It just depends on the objective of the ad.
Yeah.
And so since we're talking about authors, I would say most of the time the objective of the ads I'm running for authors would be for some sort of free offer.
Hmm.
And so if I don't really have a lot to go off of for one reason or another, I'll make a still graphic that has that felt need really clear, some
Hmm.
kind of hook, something that's going to grab their attention, like the word free or some sort of felt need. And then I'm going to make sure that that button is clear and my headline is concise. If I'm using text, I can't remember who said this phrase, but really you just want to try to help people use as few brain calories as possible.
Yes,
If you're
that's
an
a
author,
amazing.
yeah, if you're an author, you have a lot of words, you love to read, and you don't mind something that's wordy, maybe. But
Hmm.
when you're interrupting someone's social media experience, as few brain calories as possible. I need to know what I'm looking at in a half a second and want it. And that's really hard to do. So the more concise you make everything, your headline, your call to action, whatever's on your graphic, the harder that is to do, but the more it's going to convert. And then
Yeah.
I test a video if I can, if I have some. So if I don't, let's say the author, that's my ideal. The author talking about and explaining what it is that they want someone to do is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
But if I don't have that, I can use, we talked in another episode about Canva. I can use Canva to make a video. I can use an app. I've got probably 15 apps on my phone
Yeah.
that make video, I can pretty easily create video content that, whether it's a text video or whatever. So that's what I'll test.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, we've still got more to come. I mean, diving into ad targeting, which I think is kind of its own little beast to tackle and figure out. So, again, we've, over the course of this Facebook series, we've talked about the Facebook basics. We've talked about how to use Facebook for organic content, Facebook ad creative, Facebook ad copy here in this episode. And then yeah, we'll be talking in the next one about ad targeting. So thank you, Stacy, again, and let's dive into the targeting piece.
All right, I'm ready.